What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the video. In this one, we are talking about Mullen again. Right now, trading at 39.5 cents. We've got some pretty big stuff, put to call ratios and pretty big things that I want to look at for this stock. So before we get into it, I'll ask if you do enjoy this type of content that you do subscribe to the channel and you turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. But let's go ahead and get straight into it. So the first thing I did want to point out is it is very bullish, just the fact that we have crossed over the 50-day moving average. We've got momentum on the MACD. Doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon, but the RSI is saying we are quite overbought, just in that range, but that is not a major concern to me. Let's go ahead and talk more about Mullen. Right now, the stock is up 4.66% today. On Google Finance, it's saying we're at 40 cents a share. Remember, the stock has just been making incredible uptrends recently. Over the past month alone, we're already doubled, up 107.89%. Now, here's the first thing I wanted to point out was the kind of institutional and just big ownership activity happening in Mullen. So the institutional put to call ratio is at 0.44, down from 0.6, equivalent to 5.87 million puts and 13.39 million calls, implying a bullish option stance. Now, this is some top shareholders as of Q3. We've got Aquitas Capital, 56.94 million shares, 55.8 million shares. CEO of Bollinger Motors has 51.07 million shares. BlackRock right now owning 26.29 million shares, and Vanguard with 22.6 million. They purchased some. This is very big stuff that we do like to see, just that bullish sentiment. Now, to show you the kind of put to call ratio, we're sitting at very big numbers. I mean, right now the call volume is these yellow bars and the put volume is the little blue dots that you're seeing. I mean, the put to call volume is just absolutely insane. We're seeing way more calls than we are seeing puts, which is a very bullish thing to see. Showing you a little bit, right now, the put to call ratio is just 0.14. That's very, very low. Put open interest is 5,500, while the call open interest is 40,000. That's a very big thing, with implied volatility very high at 385%. But let's go ahead and show you a little bit more on Mullen that I wanted to point out. So one thing I kind of noticed in the dark pool is the net short volume is still a positive number, with the position being a positive number. So to show you what this really means is that there's a lot of short interest, but the net short volume is short volume minus buy volume, and the position is the sum of net short volume over the last 20 trading days. So just to kind of show you that, here's an example. Short volume minus buy volume equals net short volume. It's a positive number, just like, for example, 15 minus 5 gives you positive 10. Now, if it was the opposite way around, 5 minus 15, that would be negative 10, and that net short volume would be a negative number. So seeing these numbers being positive just shows that there's a ton of short interest in the stock, and doesn't necessarily mean that this squeeze is per se over, like some people might be trying to point out. Now, the position is the net short volume over the past 20 days, the sum of it all. So I'm just saying, let's say it was average 10, multiplied by 20, that'd be a positive 200. If it was average of negative 10 times 200, be a negative 200 position. We're seeing right now on Mullen in the dark pool a position of positive 84.268 million of net short volume. That is just showing that this stock is being shorted a lot more than it is necessarily being bought, which is something to keep in mind. Now, let me show you some more on what I found on Twitter. Mullen is being supported with a ton of retail and a ton of financial institutions. Let's go ahead and kind of just go into this. In 2023, we need to take action, investing in Mullen, yada, yada. The best time to invest is a standard, as the support price has formed a clear bottom at 0.27 to 0.36. People who pay attention and been here long enough know that already. We're sitting at 39 cents, which is very significant. Gained more than 100% in the last month and have climbing slowly up towards upside. As long as we can retest at 60 cents in a few days or less, once we hit 60 cents, the bullish sentiment above 60 could take Mullen to that $1 level, which is pretty necessary for them to get to that $1 for 10 consecutive trading days, just so they can stay listed on the NASDAQ without a reverse split. Once the fear reverse split is gone, the sky is the limit. Of course, for this to happen, we need to have a strong positive annual report with a strong future plan, which is coming up very soon for Mullen, so keep that in the back of your mind. Just know that's coming. And then also 2020-23 is a Mullen year. Here's just kind of an email. The article you read was correct. We did submit a purchase to order from Mullen. This is from Randy Marion. The first purchase order Mullen for cargo vans. We were supposed to start seeing them in the first quarter. If interested in purchasing vans, please let me know. From Randy Marion Automotive. Very big stuff. It's not just necessarily saying, oh, Mullen's coming out with all this information. Some people have called Mullen a fraud and all these different things, but this is to show there is legitimate stuff happening for this company. and this is a big risk per se. Just kind of looking at it, Mullen might have to hit all these dots almost perfectly, but it seems like they are kind of leading in that path. And if everything does go well, this could be absolutely massive. And to also show you, Mullen CEO does not want to reverse split and is aware of the short positions. They're just throwing the option out there so they can stay on the NASDAQ and comply with the rules. But here's just kind of a little overview. Mullen recently had a record break in cost to borrow at 800%, 7,000% increase, which I do believe has lowered a little bit since then. Mullen CEO is trying to regain NASDAQ compliances by allowing the stock to stay above $1 for 10 consecutive days. 150% increase from today's price, which is possibly doable. The stock has already gone up 100% over the past month. Mullen's short interest is 47%. Nearly half of the stock is shorted, which can make a massive short squeeze, which is true. So keep that in mind. Mullen does have a lot of upside potential. We're seeing a lot of good things for this company, especially if all these dots can truly connect together. But that is going to wrap it up for this video on Mullen. If you did enjoy it, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on any of my future content. Thank you for making it to the end of this one, and I will see you at the next video.